San Diego gorilla shatters glass. Chaos at San Diego Zoo. 400-pound gorilla shatters glass barrier, sending visitors running in panic. Panic erupted at the San Diego Zoo over the weekend after a powerful 10-year-old western lowland gorilla named Denny suddenly charged at the glass wall of his enclosure, shattering one of its three protective layers in front of stunned visitors. Now let's uncover the details of this story on the AI podcast.
Okay, so you've probably seen that video by now. It's everywhere. A huge 400-pound gorilla, Denny, just launches himself at the glass enclosure at the San Diego Zoo.
Yeah, full speed charge.
And the sound wasn't just a bang, right? People there said it was like an explosive crack.
Yeah.
Total panic.
Understandably so. You see that kind of power up close.
Right.
It's intense.
Absolutely. I mean, 400, maybe even 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Raw power. And you think, wow, that barrier, it held, but just. So our mission today really is to dig into what happened beyond just the scary video.
Right.
We need to look at the sources, figure out what actually kept everyone safe, why Denny might have done this, and, the behavior behind it all. It's not just simple aggression, is it?
No, not at all. And what's really interesting here is seeing that raw power meet, well, some pretty sophisticated safety engineering. The sources we have give us a good picture, the incident details, the science from behavioral experts like Dr. Aaron Riley, Dr. Annie Peterson, and crucially how those safety systems actually performed under extreme stress.
Okay, let's get into the specifics then. This happened Saturday afternoon. Gorilla forest habitat. Denny, the gorilla, he's 10 years old, 400 pounds.
A big adolescent male, yeah.
And that quote from Jackie Doubler, who was right there, she said it literally felt like an earthquake.
Oh.
That gives you a sense of the impact.
It really does. Seismic is a good word for it.
Oh, yeah.
And the engineering side is key here. That barrier isn't just, one thick piece of glass.
Right, you mentioned layers.
Exactly. 3 layers of tempered safety glass. And the crucial finding from the zoo's review, only the outer layer was actually broken.
Only the outer one, okay.
Which means the system did exactly what it was designed to do. It absorbed that huge initial shock, but kept the inner layers intact.
Protecting Denny, too, right?
Yeah.
Because hitting compromised glass, again, could be bad news for him.
Precisely. And protecting the visitors, obviously. That's the primary goal.
It's impressive engineering.
Yeah.
But still, seeing that crack, knowing the force, were they surprised it damaged even the outer layer that much? How much safety margin was really left?
Yeah. Well, the sources suggest there was still a good margin, but that visible crack on the outside layer, that's why they moved fast. Gorillas relocated behind the scenes immediately. Safety first, start repairs.
Makes sense.
The fact it held, Denny wasn't hurt, inner layers were fine. That means the main containment worked. But yeah, the damage was significant enough for immediate replacement. It wasn't a minor thing.
So engineering saved the day, basically.
Yeah.
But then there's the timing. This is what everyone jumped on online. It happened just weeks after his older brother, Maka, died unexpectedly.
Right. Maka was 30, passed away in August from a cardiac issue.
So naturally, people wonder, was this grief, was Denny acting out because of that loss? It feels connected, doesn't it?
It really does feel connected, and you can't dismiss the emotional impact. Gorillas are incredibly smart, very social. Loss affects them. But the expert view from the zoo and the behaviorists suggests that while grief could be a factor, it's probably not the sole or even primary cause.
Okay, so what is the primary cause then?
This kind of behavior, these big bursts of energy, charging, it's actually, well, pretty standard stuff for a young male gorilla hitting adolescence.
Daddy in a charging
The charging display itself, yes. Think of it like teenage energy, testing boundaries, showing off status. The zoo spokesperson mentioned things like dragging items, running sideways. It's all part of that developmental stage. Natural behavior for a young male finding his place.
Okay, adolescent energy, testing limits, I get that. But why the window? Why charge the thickest, clearest barrier there? Why not, I don't know, a rock or a tree in the habitat? What makes him target the glass?
Ah, now that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And that's where we get into specific primate communication. Dr. Aaron Riley, one of the experts cited, calls this specific move the classic charging display.
The charging display, okay.
And its function is usually about dominance, intimidation, maybe showing off, like we said, asserting himself. But Dr. Riley connects it directly to us, to the visitors.
How so?
Apparently, there's one thing gorillas, especially males, really don't like: being stared at. Directly in the eyes.
Wait, really? Just looking at them, trying to make eye contact. We think we're connecting, but they see it as
As a challenge. A threat, potentially. Think about it. You're at the glass. You're focusing right on the animal, trying to get a good look. Lots of direct stares.
Huh. I never thought of it that way.
So Dr. Riley suggests that because he aimed right for the window where the crowd, the eyes were concentrated, Denny might have felt cornered or challenged or just generally overstimulated by all those eyes staring back.
That completely reframes it. It's less like an attack and more like a reaction to feeling stressed or pressured by the observation itself. He's reacting to the feeling of being watched so intensely.
Exactly. And another expert, Dr. Annie Peterson, she sort of backs this up. She noted the motivation might not be pure aggression. It could be a mix. Excitement, maybe stress, maybe even curiosity boiling over into this huge energy burst. It's complex, not just a tantrum.
Which brings us back to us, the visitors. If staring is a trigger, what about people actively trying to get a reaction? Andrea Corey, a guest there that day, mentioned this concern. She saw people hitting the glass, trying to provoke the animals, presumably for a photo or video.
Yeah, and it's a really serious issue. When we talk about respecting their space, we have to remember who we're looking at. These are Western lowland gorillas, the biggest primates on Earth.
6 feet tall, potentially 500 pounds. Denny's 400 pounds was enough to cause that crack.
Exactly. It's immense power. They're not tame. They're incredibly powerful, complex wild animals, even in a zoo setting.
And critically endangered too, right?
Critically endangered, that adds another layer of responsibility. These zoo populations are vital, but in the wild, they're facing huge threats. Deforestation, poaching across Central Africa. It's devastating.
So seeing Denny's power, understanding his potential stress, it's a reminder of their wildness, their sensitivity, and their precarious situation, even behind 3 layers of glass.
Absolutely. It puts everything in context.
Okay, so let's try to pull this all together. We had this really scary incident, huge display of power from Denny. But the safety glass, the engineering, it worked. It did its job.
Yep, contain the situation.
Behaviorally, it seems like a mix. Natural adolescent gorilla stuff, maybe intensified by the stress of losing his brother.
Plausible factors, yes.
But the likely trigger, according to the experts, was the human element. Feeling overstimulated, maybe threatened, by direct stares from the crowd at the window.
That seems to be the strongest interpretation based on the behavioral science, yeah. The charge was directed at the source of the perceived pressure.
So the whole system, animal behavior, human interaction, safety design, it all played a part.
A perfect storm, in a way, but one the zoo was prepared for, thankfully.
And thinking about that trigger, the direct staring it, really leaves us with something to consider, doesn't it? For you, listening right now. We all want that connection. When we visit a zoo, we want to see these incredible animals up close. But how does our presence, even just our gaze, impact them?
Especially critically endangered species like Denny. How does our desire to observe affect their stress, their well-being? It suggests that connection needs to come with a real understanding and maybe a bit more distance or at least awareness than we sometimes practice. Something to think about next time you're face-to-face, even through glass.
This was unexpected. Okay, one question for you. What caused the gorilla at the San Diego Zoo to shatter the glass wall of his enclosure? Don't forget to comment it. Thanks.